All right, so I have a question. What if, after Noah built the ark, which we think took maybe 100 years, what if it never would have rained? Did Noah build in vain? What if Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in their faithfulness unto the Lord, not to bow down to King Nebuchadnezzar, what if they never saw that fourth man in the fire? What if they never would have walked out of the furnace? What if Lazarus was never called out of the tomb? Did Mary and Martha, were they in vain to seek after Jesus in their desperation of the death of their brother? When you look at each of these three situations that we find in Scripture, it wasn't about the outputs of the situation that they were in. It was always about their faithfulness unto God and what He was doing in and through them in the broken, lost world around us. And the same is for us today here at Calvary Chapel, Lake of the Ozarks.
Coming to this church, it's just refreshing. There's nothing like Calvary in terms of feeling like your cup is full each time you leave service.
Yeah.
And so as you go throughout your week, you're excited to go to church in terms of an obligation. I think it's an easy place to call home.
I think the thing I'm excited about is having a place for our kids to grow up in. It'll be something that we're actively involved in building, and even if I'm not the one out there with like a hammer like building the church, I can still like donate, or I can still pray about it and be involved in it in that way. And it's something that our kids are gonna have to grow up in and to grow in their faith with.
I'm 77 years old. I've been saved since I was 27, and I'm growing spiritually in this church. It's just amazing to come in on a Sunday morning and open the Word to something I've read many times before and have it explained in depth and application in ways I've never heard it before, which makes me then want to go out those doors and share with people and encourage people.
I will be 79 years old this June. I feel like the Lord has watched over me all my life, and Calvary has just been a great church for us, and we came here to worship with our kids, and we find it in this heart for the house thing. It's not about a building. It's about the people. It's about people knowing Christ. It's about people relating to Him in their times of need. At my age, I probably won't see the benefits of this in the long term, but we're very excited about the program.
Hey guys, Cliff here, former lead pastor of our church, Calvary Chapel. Probably known by many of you now as the serendipity guy that's handing you the bubble frap or the coffee. It would be 21 years this coming November that my wife and I would come here as candidates for the first time. And I remember thinking as we were worshiping the Lord, man, God is at work in this place. And then my next thought was, how cool would it be to be a part of what God is doing here? Well, I'd get that opportunity. And for the next 17 years, I would get to lead our church as Pastor Cliff. Then coming to a point and a place where I felt like God was actually calling me to step out into the ministry of the world around us. God would remind me, hey Cliff, the work that's going on here, it's not about you, but it's about me. And if I'm calling you out, I'm calling somebody else in. And I started to get really excited about that because I had vision for where God was leading and what He was doing. But I just began to realize that vision was going to be carried out by someone else stepping in. I just would like to say, for whatever it would even matter, is my heart is fully in this. And I pray that your heart would be too. I am backing all that God is placing on Nick's heart to take this step of faith in doing a new building. I would encourage you to partner in that, and through prayer, through financial giving, if the Lord would so lead. And remembering, it really was never about me or the guy before me or about Nick, but it's about what God's doing. And I'm just excited to be a part of that, and I pray that you are too.
To be the church that God has called us to be, a home for the broken, an encouragement for the hurting, and the family for the follower of Jesus. To be effective in that, we need more space. There needs to be room at the table. And we know Jesus said, as you look out into the world around us, the fields are white for harvest, but the workers are few. And so Calvary Chapel just wants to take Jesus at his word and say, we will be those workers called out into the brokenness, the loss, the darkness, to be again that home, that encouragement, that family, inviting those to be a part of the family of God. And so we are officially launching the Heart for the House Building a Legacy campaign. So the call to action, before anything else, pray. Pray for the leadership for wisdom to make fruitful decisions. Pray, and here's the prayer for all of us. Jesus, how do you want me to be involved in this Heart for the House Building a Legacy campaign?